Welcome in, Jesse. Thank you for being part of Two Way. Tell folks who don't know where you are, what's on your mind for Dan and Sean, please.
Yeah, I've watched you guys for a long time. Megan McCain's podcast is what first brought me to the show and made me aware of it. I am from Louisville, Kentucky. I have voted for both Donald Trump and Andy Bashir. So maybe we can talk about that a different day. But what I wanted to talk about today is that I don't know if everyone realizes how important this Tylenol issue is to MAHA moms. I've been pregnant 3 times. I had horrible pregnancies. And there was one pregnancy I didn't take Tylenol at all. There were other times where I had to have it.
Yeah.
And so I think that it not only speaks to just Tylenol and this little issue, I think moms want to be heard about this more broadly. And we'd really like to hear some female voices surrounding that subject because, doctors, GPs tend to just say, you're pregnant, you can't take anything. Then you're breastfeeding and they say, you can't take anything. And I think that if the Republicans can get this issue right, whatever it is, whether it is okay or is not okay to take Tylenol, I just think that we really want to see a thorough investigation and see where that goes. And I think it's something to watch. And I'll be interested to see if Megan McCain talks about it today too, because she really seems to have the pulse on MAHA moms.
Yeah. Jesse, again, you speak for
Really
tens of
well
millions.
said.
People want clarity. And I hope the press conference today is not all men. I said that yesterday
I hope so too.
When the president said he was going to be there. But there is the problem, right? First of all, as we said, some people dispute the claim that they're going to make, not just the company, but some scientists, including, as Dan said, some people in the government. And I've been asking since the Wall Street Journal story, okay, if you can't take Tylenol, there's a reason why pregnant women are told to take Tylenol. There are no other options. So people are talking about lower dosage, but then the question is, how low is good enough to deal with the pain, but still not cause the problem. So I'm not sure they're going to have all the answers today, but they've made this a high priority, and their work on autism will continue. This is not the last word. They're looking at all sorts of other things as well. How old are your kids, Jesse?
They are 8, 6, and 2.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jesse, I have a question for you. You really well said. I think you do speak for a lot of people. Do you trust Robert F. Kennedy on this issue and his findings, or do you have concerns about him as the leader on this topic?
I do have concerns. And that's why I want to hear from a lot of voices. I think MAHA moms are they're smart too. They've been trying to figure this out on their own for years. Not just this issue, all sort of mom issues, what's best for our kids. And there is conflicting evidence. And so I think that a lot of people are willing to dive deeper and to look into whatever research comes out and to demand that there is more and continued research surrounding autism and a variety of issues that affect maternal health.
To what extent has your trust in him gone down since he's been in office?
I wasn't, although I'm sort of like a MAHA mom, I'm not a huge RFK fan in particular. So I've never put that much emphasis on what he necessarily has to say, but I'm very appreciative that he's raising these issues.
Who do you look to? Who do you trust on these issues?
Other moms, my own pediatrician, my own research.
Yeah. Sean, go ahead.
If you are a Democrat thinking of wanting to lead our party, listen to Jesse. Don't mock this idea. Champion and embrace what you're saying. That is so well said.
Sean.
I just say, it's funny. Growing up, there was always this view that you got a second opinion. And then that shifted to suddenly you must listen to everything that Big Pharma and the government say, can't question anything. I appreciate the curiosity, which I think is what's going on now in food, to say what makes sense. Why is there such a strict doctrine that we can only do this or it's good? Because we started to find out in the last year that, red dye probably isn't that good for you. Yeah, ultra processed food, probably not that good for you. So I appreciate the fact that at the very least, what the MAHA movement is doing is getting to question the doctrine that has existed for several decades now about what we must do and getting us back to that relationship that you have, Jesse, where you can say to your own doctor, what's best for me, not that everything has to be dictated straight from the government and from Big Pharma.
And I've heard some talk about Hep B too, which is a pregnant woman. That is something that just common sense was like, why do we need this? Tell me more. And so I think that it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Are
I
you
think that
happy
one's
with the
too, by the way, the
recommendation?
Hep B.
On that topic, Jesse, do you try? Are you happy with what, or do you still have more questions and you're a little unsure
Do you mean the current recommendation
that they
of?
just changed to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the change. Yeah, I'm not completely opposed to it. I just don't know that we need to do it immediately at the hospital, which was recommended when I had my kids.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Jesse, so grateful to you coming on. We have some comic relief because it's been a relatively heavy episode. This is the president on Air Force One yesterday talking about vaccines. And Sarah Cooper, the comedian who does like the lip syncing of the president. Just imagine Sarah Cooper doing this one. It's prime material. With 107, please.
Beginning to announce any link between vaccines and autism.
Vaccines are very interesting. They can be great, but when you put the wrong stuff in them, and children get these massive vaccines like you give to a horse. And I've said for a long time, I mean, this is no secret, spread them out over 5 years. Get 5 shots, small ones. Did you ever see what they give? They give, I mean, for a little baby to be injected with that much fluid, even beyond the actual ingredients. They have sometimes 80 different vaccines in them. It's crazy. It's that's a common sense thing too. It's like you're shooting up a horse. You have a little body, a little baby, and you're pumping this big thing. It's a horrible thing. So I've always felt that.
All right,
But
Jesse,
we'll be having a big discussion tomorrow.
you have a lot of confidence in Dr. Trump on the horse
No,
metaphor?
I'm not looking to Trump
Okay.
solely for vaccine recommendations for my kids.
That's probably wise. Jesse, loved having you on. Thank you for being part of Two Way. We hope you'll come back.
Thank you.
So funny. You could see the polling spinning in his head.
Yeah.
Don't slam it, but don't embrace it.
The horse thing. Somebody send that to Sarah Cooper. Hey, want to be part of the Two Way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.